Today we're talking about production audio and field audio for film. This is my buddy Hyun. He does production sound full-time and is an awesome dude who answers all my questions when I'm trying to escape the computer screen and also do production sound. So today Hyun's gonna show me his setup.
Yeah, I mean, let me just bring in some gear and then we can kind of just break everything down, what I use on a day-to-day basis.
That sounds perfect.
Sounds good? All right, let's do it.
Any objections? Can't hear you. That case is huge.
Never be too prepared. Let me just grab a couple of the essentials here that we can kind of talk about today.
So huge.
Harness. I already got the slate out. Some time code goodies. Camera hops.
Yeah, are those, so camera hops are bunny legs for cameras, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We got Comtex, gotta have batteries, and of course, miscellaneous stuff.
MISC.
Which is essentially just additional lapel equipment or wiring equipment for wireless setups. Got to have a shock mount, Velcro, microphones, water-resistant gear, backup microphone, another backup microphone. All right, got to have just another microphone, handheld this time, and might as well weasel this guy out. And last but not least, I will show you this. This is.
What is it?
Here, let me show you.
Oh.
Quiet Please filming in process.
That's so good. Table and
yeah,
then...
we don't need this on the table anymore, so.
Cool. Yep.
Start with, I mean, we do have the Sound Devices 788T recorder. Great recorder, a little bit on the heavier side, but I mean, preamps are super clean. I mean, I'll have the setup as the boom on one, and then the rest will just be cascading different lavs. So like two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for the most part though, I mean, everyone usually asks for just like a boom and 2 lavs at most. So that's just a basic setup right there. For the receivers, as you see, I mean, I'm just using some Electro 411s right there.
Awesome. So this is recorder and like the brains of the operation. These are the preamps.
Yes.
And then this is a receiver. Well, these are all three.
All three are receivers for our like talents, like transmitters.
Cool.
So I mean, these guys are just singles, and then we have a duo here. So essentially, it is a 4-channel setup right there. I mean, if you're not counting the boom. For transmitters, I resort to Electrosonics, but there's other great like companies like Zaxcom out there. These guys, they're just like solid, very low profile. You can hide it like anywhere on the talents. I mean, whether it's the leg strap, whether it's waist strap, behind the belt, anything. So
yeah, I've used these a couple times too, and I really liked them.
This is very reliable, really clean. Yeah, I just haven't had no issues with them. So,
hey, that's what you want.
Yes, and it's nice because also Electro has like a phone app as well. I mean, I'm sure other companies come up with that too, but yeah, I just have actually three of these guys, 2 on block 21, 1 on 19 as well.
Being a block of frequencies?
Yes. This guy is my wireless, so like if I am sending like a mono signal to camera hops, or else even to like an IFB system, like if the client wants to listen in to the sound that I'm capturing, then I'll just use this Sennheiser SK2000 right here, just on a separate frequency and send that directly to camera and the IFBs if necessary. So, all right, so transmitter side, I mean, we can totally talk about some power. So starting with, I mean, just for me, I prefer rechargeables. Then next thing, I mean, I do use this guy right here. It's a BDS power distribution system right here.
Okay.
So all my receivers right here, they're all plugged in on the base plate right there. So receivers, recorder, and they're all being powered by this single NP battery right here. It's a lithium ion. So I don't have essentially 4 different power sources, I mean, for like the receivers and a recorder. Carry usually about like 5 of them. I mean, that would be more than enough.
In your bag?
Yeah, in my bag, yeah. So,
and how many of those do you normally go through in like a typical shoot?
Ranges from 2 to 4. I use these Sanken COS 11s microphones. So most of my accessories are paired up for these particular lapels.
All right, let's go through some of this other stuff.
Yeah. Real quick here, I mean, you gotta have some assortment of like stickies. I have like some double-sided rye coat guys. Gotta have some moleskin and some top stick little pre-cuts that I do just in case. So
And these are all to secure the lavs to the talent.
correct. Or even securing like a shirt together to prevent like shirt movement as well, because that's ultimately like what's gonna cause a lot of noise. In my miscellaneous bag I presented earlier, I just have some wraps. I mean, whether it's gonna be on the ankle, on the thigh, on the waist. So then you can pretty much just drop this into the little sleeve of these wraps right here. Gotta always have backups of backups. So more top stick. I got more Recode double-sided sticky.
What are these again?
These are hush mounts.
Oh.
So basically, I mean, this is just also creating more of like a barrier.
So if your shirt is rubbing against this, it like minimizes.
It
like, the sound.
minimizes, yes. I mean,
Yeah, I'm curious. And then these are just extra mics.
extra lapels, so yeah. Yeah.
Boom. So misc bag is just extras of extras.
Correct, correct. I just use the Orca, the OR39.
Okay.
Just
Looks
lightweight.
super comfy.
It's seen better days. And you always gotta have the rain gear for your recorder because you want to protect your baby.
Yeah.
You don't want to buy another one of them. So these are just like my camera hops right here with cables for days. Oh yeah, this is also my Electro HM for just in case I want to go wireless on the boom.
Yeah.
Or else if I do have the luxury of a boom operator, I'll just send them off with this and their own little IFB.
Nice.
Yep. So these are just like different adapters for different cameras that I may use, or else like if I need a splitter, like camera hops I use as a mono hop is just SK2000s. Super simple, very reliable. So these are just different timecode adapters for different cameras that you might encounter. And yeah, timecode is essentially just sending a metadata which will help sync up audio and visual together. If audio syncing is not the best route for them, or it's just if they can't do it. So I mean, yeah, for the microphone setup, so I mean, this is kind of like my mic locker that I usually use on my gigs here that I work in the Twin Cities. And then for main microphone for indoors, I use a CMCU or 6U with a supercardioid diaphragm.
Cool.
So yeah, it's the MK41 right there, but usually I always pair it up with this little cut one, the Shep's cut one, with a little adjustable filter. Goes from 600 to 70. Yeah, I mean, I always just I cut it off at 70 because you don't really need a sub for the voice. And then just screw that guy on, and voila. I mean, yes, it's a little bit longer, I mean, but essentially most of my gigs I don't have to deal with. I don't have to worry about dealing with a low profile boom. Matched it up with a little very soft, like little eggshell windscreen right there.
Perfect.
So, my first exterior microphone I'll use is a CMIT 5U by Shep's as well. It's a great microphone.
Yeah, I just used one and it sounded so good.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you can't really go wrong with Shep's. It does give you an option for a little high shelf boost or low cut right there. And then, yeah, usually just pair it out with a Recode Cyclone, and then also a Windjammer by Recode as well. You never know what kind of winds you'll be dealing with. So, I mean, yes, it could potentially like affect like what you're capturing too, but it's better safe than sorry to actually capture something clean than not.
Totally.
So I always carry this guy, the Sennheiser MKH 416. This guy is kind of a tank. It'll deal with any humidity levels, and it works great indoor or outdoor. I mean, it won't sound like a Shep's, but it's still a solid microphone.
Totally.
So, and it gets decent range as well. So
yeah, I've been super surprised with that one, how well it picks up from a distance.
absolutely. So, I mean, this is kind of just like my little microphone arsenal that I use on my jobs here. And then this is just a typical little handheld mic just in case if you have a host.
Nice.
And if they need a flag, just pair it up with the Electro HM.
Yep.
They're wireless, and boom, we're on a talk show host.
Yeah.
So this is just a little swivel arm that I just use mainly on like car scenes. So I mean, if you have a two-shot, like left and right of a driver or a passenger, I like to clamp this in the center console somewhere, whether it's a stick shift or whatnot. Have the boom just aiming directly out of frame at them, and you still have a boom sound during a car scene. So
That's nice.
another option is, I mean, you could also get a gooseneck, pair it up with the SMQV, and basically just slide this on top of the blinder, right above their head, and just have that diaphragm poking out, and then you just have another great source right there that you don't have to worry about cabling. So for my booms, I use this quick release system right here. Super simple. Here, let me pull out my boom pole. So, I mean, the boom pole I use is K-Tech. Always been happy with it. 16-footer right here, internal coil. Very easy to like resolder if needed. It's just great. It just doesn't make any noise. But this guy is just perfect, set up with quick release on top right there. So I can just interchange all my boom mics on the fly. This is a quick release system by Sound Guy Solutions. So basically all you do is just slip it in, close it, and you're ready to go.
That's
so
awesome.
And it's immobile. So nice thing is like say you're on a run and gun shoot and you're running from indoor to outdoor, all you need to do is just pop this guy right off, boom, and then just put your outdoor mic on, I mean with everything else on, just drop it in, boom, and you're ready to go.
That's
I mean,
so
it's just
nice.
a tiny little, like, I mean, you only save a tiny bit of time, but all that stuff adds up in the end.
Totally.
And it'll just make it that much more efficient.
Dude, thank you for showing me all this stuff. I'm always fascinated because I know it's like really personal, kind of what you choose to put in your bag, what you bring on set. This is all super high-end gear, so this was super fun for me to geek out too.
Yeah, I'm happy to share you like what I utilize on my gigs around town. But yeah, this is just one of many setups. I mean, a lot of sound guys, they have their own preferences. This is just what I prefer right here. So, and there's a lot of options out there. So. Spend your money wisely. Don't buy twice. I mean, unless you ultimately have to. So, but yeah, without a good operator or like if you don't understand great technique, I mean, you gotta find that balance. I mean, you can like do the complete opposite. You can have mediocre gear, but you have awesome like techniques and positioning. You can still pass off really awesome sound.
Cool.
So, I mean, yeah, this is high end, but ultimately you gotta find that middle ground of great technique and great equipment to, you know, make your clients really, really happy. And yourself happy.
Yeah.
As a sound person, I think it's also like a constant like battle with yourself, trying to better yourself or just trying to figure out what you could do better, like
Totally.
to make the sound better.
Yeah, I'm always like, it's like totally what we're talking about. But I know I'm like way more picky than anybody I work with, like because it's like there's a passable that they're like, oh, that sounds great, and then there's me going, but yeah, I can hear all these stupid frequencies.
Exactly. So I mean, like we would probably hear a lot of things that like the conventional listener probably wouldn't hear, but like when we hear that difference, it's kind of almost like pins and needles in our ears that like,
Totally.
it's like, oh my God, it's that apparent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, but ultimately, like you want to make your clients happy at the very end. So, I mean, but yeah, hope you find this helpful.
Rad. Yeah, I did. This was super fun to geek out and talk and ask questions that aren't even on here. But yeah, man, thanks so much for all the time you took to do this, and best of luck.
Absolutely. It's always fun to nerd out with another sound engineer, so.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hopefully we can do this again soon.
Absolutely.
Cool.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, we don't have to do handshake because that's way too formal.
Way too formal. All right.
All right,
cool.
should I record this next one? Just kidding.